Hey guys, it's Dave Duford. We're on this YouTube channel. I help insurance agents like you succeed in selling whatever kind of insurance that you sell. And in this video, I'm actually doing a multi-part interview series with my agent, Jeremy, and how he was able to sell $500,000 in annuity production in just his first 90 days of getting into the business. What you're going to see in this video is really how an agent with some success selling final expense in this regard was able to utilize the leads he was already getting, in this case final expense Facebook leads, and not only convert final expense business, but then find a ton of annuity prospects simply by asking one, maybe two additional questions. Also in this interview, I have my annuity trainer, Steven, on the line to detail the process as well. He is also featured in my book, Interviews with Top Producing Insurance Agents, where he details the training program in which he instructs agents on how they can produce their own annuity leads, whether they're working their existing leads selling Medicare or final expense or mortgage protection, or how they can literally cold call for annuity appointments. That's right, cold call, or outsource the cold calling to a telemarketer to find boundless annuity opportunities to potentially help people out with. So let's go ahead and listen to the interview, and then I'll be back to tell you more at the end. So Jeremy, as I remember, you had called me with an annuity problem from a final expense lead about 3 months back, and I put you in touch with Steven. My question to you is, could you talk us through the process of how you two got started working together?
So when Steve and I got contacted together, he contacted me on the phone, got me in touch with a company that takes care of annuities. I ran obviously what I had that I had questions on. I had never done an annuity before. And taking care of that process, Steve was able to walk me through every aspect of, getting the business done, getting it written, getting it taken care of, servicing the customer the way I needed to. And really that whole process, it took about, I want to say probably close to 4 to 6 weeks before all those steps were in place.
Mm-hmm.
But from everything to looking at the annuity that I had and understanding what I had as far as how that contract is written, what the annuity is that I'm going to be placing this lady into, and how that contract is written, and what obviously the product is that we're going to be placing them in as well, how their product performs, how our product performs. And Steve really kind of walks you through every step of that to get you to that final area to where you actually understand, for one, your annuity, the one that you actually are going to be taking care of and selling that person, or putting them in that product. Mm-hmm. and what they currently have, so you can go back to the customer and literally explain them. And Steve and I never met each other. This is all over through the phone. I mean, that was it.
Yeah, I think it's important to clarify for our audience, Jeremy. What's interesting, Steve and I were talking about this earlier, when it comes to taking an agent who thinks they're interested in annuities and but doesn't know where to start. They think, oh man, it's annuities, it's money, it's lots of money, it's somebody's retirement, their savings. It seems overwhelming, it seems tough, but it sounds to me, clarify if I'm wrong, I mean, you went into this annuity deal and got an application on somebody, and you didn't have to know everything up front, right? Steve more or less walked you through this process. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that was kind of the overwhelming factor, is that this person throws this annuity in my lap that was, it's 6 figures, and I'm going, I've never written anything this big before. I have no idea what I'm looking at as far as to help this lady out. And yeah, Steve was able to sit and break everything down step by step and help me through the process to set me up for success. That's really what it was for.
Did you feel overwhelmed? I mean, let's say you literally had this annuity fall in your lap, right? And you took this to Steve, he walked you through it. I mean, you must have felt overwhelmed. I mean, this first one, what was the feeling like doing this, going from no knowledge base to having the instruction to confidently present this as a, new annuity opportunity to better, their financial situation?
Well, overwhelming. When I talked to Steve and that kind of stuff, obviously I was letting him know what I had, and that I had no idea what to do with this. And he pretty much told me, just calm down. I'm going to walk you through every step, every aspect of this, and explain this to you so that you understand it, so you can explain to the customer, the client, what they're going to be looking at as well. So, when I first started with it, it was a little overwhelming to get that perspective on what I was going to be doing. But literally within a week, I was starting to understand the whole process of Steve actually is a great teacher on how he actually deals with the annuities and explaining them very well.
So question for Steven, what was your strategy on how to get Jeremy up and running to writing his first annuity contract?
Well, the strategy with Jeremy is the same strategy I would like to work with anybody that's kind of in final expense and looking to transition to something different, or just the opportunity to do it, is to have some piece of business. When an agent has a piece of business and he's got a commission on the line, they have the miraculous ability to pay close attention. And that is one of the greatest aspects to a teacher is, oh my goodness, if I really listen to what this guy's telling me and pay attention to each step of the process, I'm going to be able to put together a very nice commission for myself. So in Jeremy's case, he's like, he's smarter than the average bear. But you don't need to be brilliant. What you need is a good client, a problem, generally something that's, in place or been in there for 10 years, or a 401k that hasn't been looked at. There's all kinds of annuity opportunity. So present me the problem and I have the solution. And it's so much easier to teach one solution to one problem. The annuity business is complicated if you look at the whole picture all at once. It's a tad bit overwhelming. But if you're only dealing with one client, this is the situation, what's in their best interest, that's easy. That's this product, this is how it works, this is why we recommend it, this is why we recommend this carrier. Does this make sense to you? Can I see your driver's license? Start the application, do it correctly, send it over to me, I'll scrub it up, finish it up, tidy it up, and that's the whole process. And it's not anything more intimidating than writing your first life insurance policy. It's just more pages. And even the pages aren't, if you really look at the pages, most of it you don't have to deal with. There's a lot of number of pages, but most of it is very similar to a life insurance policy. Not that much more Transamerica policy about the same. Not that complicated.
Transamendment, as we say in Final Expense. So that laugh that means you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
So Steve
is a great teacher.
Yes, a question to kind of expand on that, because I think your style of teaching how to sell annuities is unique. Because if you've had a license in the life insurance business for longer than 6 months, you've been cold called by a variety of organizations, probably by an annuity group that wants you to contract that has the best annuity, and if you just sign here, you'll get access to this great thing. Problem is how does somebody who wants to do this, who has no experience, actually implement it? And what you're telling me, and I'd like you to expand on this a little bit, and your style of approach, and why I think it's great. But for the listener out there who's maybe skeptical, why is it smarter or a better use of your time to learn the product, as it's almost sounding like, after you've got the prospect, versus taking all the time ahead of time learning the different annuity strategies and what you may run into and spending a lot of time doing that? Why is it smarter to look for the annuity opportunities and then develop a case to convey to the client after the fact?
I came up with an interesting analogy, and it's kind of funny, but let's say you're a 16-year-old kid and you bought your first car and it doesn't run. And so you put it in the driveway, you tinker with it, you've done everything. You took a machine shop in high school, but you really weren't paying attention. Machine shop was all product knowledge. And there's something wrong with this carburetor, and you just can't get this car to run. And you got a friend of yours who's had lots of cars. He's fixed lots of cars, and he's real good with carburetors. And when he comes over to work on your car, which you've really tried hard to get going well, and he's an expert on carburetors, when him and you get together, you really pay attention to what's going on because you've got something vested. You've got skin in the game. And when an agent brings me a problem, such as annuity and financial investments, Annuity is actually a very, very good product for older clients, and I'll just tell you why. If you put money in the market, you have market risk. If you put money in an annuity and an indexed annuity, there's no market risk. The worst thing that can ever happen to a person over the age of 65 is to have their money in the market and have it drop. So you've already got a built-in what if scenario. So it's easy to reposition money into annuity because it makes sense for people that aren't working to do that. And that's the whole thing. If the presentation on annuity is not a complicated process, it's a few things, it's a few key components on why to do that in your given state and an emotional side. But the main thing that you want to do is to leave that client in a safer long-term position than they would be if they left it where it was. And most money, and this is the exciting part about annuity, most money under $250,000 is mismanaged. It's cookie-cuttered. Even if you're a financial planner, I've seen so many of these financial planners come in and they're producing 6, 7, 8, 9% when the market's going up 20 and 28%. And I'm going, this guy's supposed to be an expert at this, and you're not doing much better than my annuity product would be on a prospectus level. And then you explain to them, and not only that, it's at risk. So is there opportunity out there? There's opportunity everywhere out there. It's just a matter of finding it, being able to talk to it, being able to communicate with it, and be able to sit down and put a proposal together. If you throw enough pitches, you'll eventually get a hit.
So I hope you enjoyed that sales training from both Jeremy and Steve on how he's been able to write $500,000 in the annuity business just in the very first 90 days of him going into the annuity business. And what I want to close here is to detail you with two particular type of annuity sales training programs that I'm offering through my agency. So the first one are targeting those existing agents like Jeremy that are already getting leads. You may be selling final expense, mortgage protection, perhaps you sell Medicare or anything whatsoever. We have a program where we will actually instruct you on how to work your existing leads without having to get off of your lead program to find annuity deals with them. And just like Stephen somewhat kind of described as well as Jeremy, you don't have to go into this program knowing every little tidbit of how annuities work, of how each particular product works and what kind of circumstances you're looking for. All you need to do is just take the action in which we give you, which is teaching you how to ask one or two additional questions to find out if there's annuity deals. And then when you find there may be an opportunity, to actually contact us and take it to Stephen. And then Steve will actually walk you through and train you on how to present the annuity opportunity so that you might be able to write a 4 or even 5-figure annuity sale opportunity that's just literally sitting out there waiting for somebody to be helped with. So that's the program available for agents that want to supplement their existing line of business with annuity sales. It makes a great cross-sell opportunity. And then the second program that we're now offering is actually preset appointments where you can go see people without having to pay for leads. You do have to pay for the telemarketer, though, of course, but you don't have to do the cold calling. We have specifically crafted a program where we help you find a telemarketer. We train that telemarketer for you. If we don't have one on staff, which we do have access to telemarketers, so that you may or may not have to find one. We may already have it available for you. Just depends on availability. But all you have to do is just simply be willing to run appointments, pay for the telemarketer, which is several $100s a week, which would be expected for the kind of service that we're getting from this telemarketing group or person we're hiring. And they set up 3, 4, 5 appointments a day, Monday through Friday for you. And you run the script, you run the program as we instruct you to, and you find the annuity prospects, and then we help you on an individual case-by-case basis find those annuity prospects and potentially close them. This is a fantastic way that we get you out into the field seeing high-quality prospects without you ever having to pick up the phone. One thing you'll hear from Stephen is that he really wants you to cold call, but the truth is that a lot of people just don't want to do it, and we can outsource it, and the script we use is very easy to understand, even for somebody who's not going to sell an annuity. So why set the appointments and just go run them yourself? You know, being in front of your prospects, and the more that you're in front of prospects is really what drives home your overall revenue and commission. So if you're interested in any of these prospects, here's what I want you to do. go to my website. It's feagentmentor.com. Click the contact button, and then I want you to send me a message stating that you're interested in the annuity sales program. Either one, doesn't matter. Then what will happen after that is either myself or Steven himself will follow up and discuss with you how the program works and give you some more details so you can make a determination if the program is something that's sensible for you. If you have any comments or questions on how the annuity sales program works within my organization, feel free to comment below. If you like this video, please thumbs it up and subscribe. And do share this if maybe you have some agent friends of yours that you think would be interested in selling annuities and might find some value out of this particular interview series. And make sure you catch the other interview series we're going to be doing weekly here for a while. And until then, thank you so much for watching. You guys take care and have a good week. Bye.